Moonlord is one of the more challenging bosses in Terraria, which makes sense. He's the final boss, he has multiple moving parts, each with huge pools of hit points, and has some of the heaviest hitting attacks in the entire game. He can be very overwhelming to fight in higher difficulties such as Expert or Master Mode or on the Secret for the Worthy seed. However, we're going to be looking at how to take down this boss with relative ease in the highest difficulty Terraria currently has to offer, that is Master Mode plus for the Worthy. I'm going to split this video into three main parts. Firstly, we'll cover what weapons, armor and accessories you should bring to the fight. Secondly, we'll cover the potions. And last but not least, we'll go through the method for the fight itself. I'm going to divide the video into multiple chapters in the YouTube video player so you can skip ahead or rewind quite easily. There's no right or wrong way to do the fight, but for the purposes of this tutorial I'm going to be playing as the Ranger class as I found it to be the most safe and balanced approach to the fight. For the armor I chose to use the Shroomite set with the arrow helmet, and as my primary weapon I went with the Phantasm bow paired with Ichor arrows. You can bring a summoning weapon such as the Stardust Dragon Staff to slightly increase DPS. We're going to be using the Witch's Broom mount as our sole source of mobility to save our accessory slots for DPS and defensive accessories. Moving on to the accessories, the Cross Necklace and Cobalt Shield, or any upgraded variants of the two, are a must for this to work. I also strongly recommend equipping the Brain of Confusion as well, but you might be able to get by without this accessory. As for the other slots, I chose the Magic Quiver, Destroyer Emblem, Celestial Shell and the Ranger Emblem to help boost my damage substantially. The Charm of Mist or the Black Belt are both very viable choices to help increase survivability as well. All accessories should be reforged to warding to get as much defense as possible. You'll need at least 79 defense to negate the Moonlord's damage enough to make this method work best. You can adapt this loadout to fit the class you're playing, but this is what I've found to work best for me. The potions are going to be quite straightforward. Rage, Wrath, Endurance, Life Force, Iron Skin, Swiftness and Regeneration potions will help greatly improve your general fighting capabilities. You should also take any food item which gives the exquisitely stuffed buff. If you're using a bow like me, then the Archery potion is extremely helpful. Magic users have the Mana Regen and Magic Power potions. Melee users can drink an ale if they'd like to trade in a small amount of defense for greater damage. Summoners, or any class, can use a Summoning Potion and a Bewitching Table to gain 2 extra minion slots, increasing their overall DPS. When you're ready, go ahead and spawn the Moonlord in. The start of the fight will look relatively normal. Focus all of your damage on one of his hands until that hand is destroyed and a True Eye of Cthulhu spawns in. Do your best to dodge all of his attacks as normal until they've destroyed the first hand. Once the eyeball pops out, you can sit on top of the socket where the eye used to be. This will consistently deal 80 contact damage to your character, but with enough defense this is easily reduced down to only 1 point of contact damage. Use your Witch's Broom to try and match the boss's speed and sit inside the socket, all while continuing to deal damage to the boss. The continuous contact damage taken from the socket will give your character enough immunity frames to be able to completely avoid taking damage from his other attacks, such as his Phantasmal Death Ray. This is why the Cross Necklace is so important, as it increases how many immunity frames you get after each attack. From here, the fight should be relatively simple as you're basically invincible and can just shoot at the boss until he's dead. Make sure you've got plenty of space to maneuver during the fight. I recommend starting at one end of the world and flying in a straight line so you've got as much space as possible to work with. As soon as the boss's heart opens up, go ahead and hold down the trigger until the Moonlord is dead. Be sure to keep an eye on your health during this phase just in case one of his attacks somehow manages to get to you. And with that, we've managed to kill the Moonlord very easily in Master Mode plus for the Worthy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel as it helps me tremendously. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all very soon.